Hello Pisces, welcome to Essence Reflections Tarot. My name is Krista and this is your reading for the week of July 29th to August 4th, 2019. And I really appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for coming by. And let's take a look and see what the cards have for you this week. In the physical, you have the Chariot in reverse. In the emotional is the Nine of Swords in reverse. In the mental is the King of Wands in reverse. And in the spiritual is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So Pisces, it looks like you are having an urge to kind of move forward rapidly, and yet there's something that feels like it's standing in your way. It's like you are feeling like you're at a stage in which you would like to be just moving forward and taking your gifts out into the world and your abilities out into the world and using them and working with them, and yet you're finding yourself coming up against things that are really stopping you. Chariot really is a card of needing to find your balance and needing to really be in balance because of the way of the physics of how a chariot, well, I don't know the physics, I'm not a physicist, so I shouldn't really say too much, but just the dynamics of how a chariot works, because it is so unstable. The two, in this case, they're not horses, but the two beings that are pulling the chariot, they need to be perfectly in balance. If one is off or faster than the other, then the whole thing will just come tumbling down. So with the Sphinx here and the black and the white, that really represents our yin and our yang and our masculine and our feminine and the dark and the light within us, and really needing to find a balance for those both so that they can move forward at the same pace, so that the chariot works and doesn't come to a huge crash. So with this chariot in reverse here, it makes me wonder if there is something that is off balance for you in terms of your integrating your shadow. And I really, that has come up because we have the Nine of Swords in reverse here. And with the Nine of Swords in reverse, it does mean that things are starting to lift. It does mean that all the insomnia, the headaches, the heartache, the night terrors, all of that, those types of things that have been holding you down emotionally, they are coming to an end, and it's starting to kind of lighten up a bit and loosen up a bit. And hopefully that's because you are recognizing this as your shadow, and you're recognizing this as a piece of yourself to be integrated and to be understood and to be addressed with compassion, rather than something that you're trying to squelch and ignore and cut out and distance yourself from. Because those sorts of responses, the squelching and the distancing, those are things that will have you off balance, because our shadow is something that we need to integrate and acknowledge in order for us to be able to move forward with it. And with the King of Wands in reverse here, it's almost like you are keeping your passions under a lid. It's like mentally you don't feel like you can allow them to have the full reign and the full mastery that they could have. It's like something is telling you that you need to keep them under wraps and really need to keep a tight grip on those passions and not let them out. And that is definitely something that will cause the headaches, and it's definitely something that will cause you to not move forward in the way that the chariot is really meant to move, with passion and helter-skelter, and like there is no hesitation with the chariot. With the Ten of Pentacles in reverse here, it looks like you are, along with keeping your passions under wrap, you're also keeping yourself under wrap, and you're really keeping yourself in a place of somewhat of isolation, especially spiritually, and not allowing yourself to share your gifts and allowing yourself to share the spiritual passion that you have. I think this really boils down to, feeling like you need to keep yourself small and feeling like you need to keep yourself tight and isolated. And this may not be something that you've been completely conscious of. This may be something that's been sort of unconscious for you, but it is something that is being brought into your consciousness so that you can address it. And it's coming at a time when you are in a place where you can integrate it and can address it and can allow yourself to kind of maybe take some of those lids off and experiment with being yourself and allowing your full self and your whole self to come into your life and to really allow you to move forward in the way that you are really desiring to do that. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you have an excellent week. Bye-bye.